back to the show. Sadly, Governor McCrory isn't the most delusional North Carolinian in the news today.
A terrifying afternoon yesterday when a man by the name of Edgar Welch walked inside of Comet Ping Pong Pizza, the pizza shop here yesterday, and opened fire.
He told police he wanted to self-investigate the so-called Pizzagate.
What the is Pizzagate? Oh, I'm so sorry you asked.
The restaurant's basement is said to be the center of a child sex slave ring that's run by Hillary Clinton and her campaign manager, but none of this is true. In fact, the restaurant here reportedly doesn't even have a basement. But Welch of Salisbury, North Carolina, was not convinced about this.
Neither was Michael Flynn Jr. He knows the absence of a basement doesn't prove there was no child sex ring in that basement. So who are you going to believe? The police and lamestream Lugenpresse, or our next national security advisor's cuckoo bird son / chief of staff? What sort of demon brain comes up with hoaxes like this? We sent Mike Rubens to find out.
For the past several years, online propagandists and hoaxers have been pissing in the info stream and preying on the credulous, laying the foundation for a post-truth society, where this...
one person's fake news is another person's news.
...is an actual f***ing talking point. Ugh, I so want to wipe a booger on that guy. But just who are these fake news hucksters?
We're a fake news provider.
Sorry, providers. This is Justin Kohler, whose real name sounds faker than his fake name, Alan Montgomery. National Public Radio named him a sort of godfather of the fake news industry. During his career, this self-proclaimed die-hard liberal has created over a dozen fake news sites that confusingly feature satire alongside those race-baiting, Hillary-hating fake stories your dumb uncle shares with you on Facebook.
Any sort of a gun-grabbing story, pro-abortion, anti-Obama or anti-Hillary, anti-Muslim, anything anti-Mexican or immigrant, it's kind of this right-wing red meat.
Yeah, like this one, tying a fictitious murder-suicide to the Hillary email scandal, a story that ran during the election and got over 500,000 views. Some people, looking at what you've done, would say, you're an asshole.
Okay,
I guess we're good.
Mike, just get in the goddamn.
I'm sorry. You're a Hillary voter, correct?
I voted for Hillary.
You voted for Hillary. And yet you wrote news stories that were deliberately full of inflammatory lies about Hillary Clinton. And I guess my question is, what the f***?
In 2013, late 2012, early 2013, I became very interested in what is now referred to as the alt-right. Ultimately, we were trying to infiltrate these groups and see if they would fall for the stories that we were writing in order to then publicly discredit them as being factual news sources.
Is it okay to shout fire in a crowded movie theater if afterwards you whisper, just kidding?
No.
It's probably not okay to shout ISIS in a theater full of heavily armed Trump supporters.
Probably not.
And what happens when you do? I wanted to read you some of the comments on one of your stories. This is the one about the Michigan city that supposedly has implemented Sharia law.
Oh, sure.
All right, so I will show them what I think of Sharia law with my 30-06. That's a gun. Another guy saying we should form vigilante squads, remove all the Muslims, and airdrop them into the center of the Sahara from 20,000 feet.
That's a horrible comment there. There's a lot of angry people on there.
Yeah, no shit. And Kohler has squeezed out plenty of lube for their outrage circle jerks.
People are dying to find any example in this country where Sharia law has been implemented.
But do you have to give them one, even if it's fake, just to prove that they're dumb to believe it?
I don't believe that story in particular contributed to Islamophobia.
He's right. To stir up Islamophobia, you'd need more than just one fake news story about, oh, there they are. Yep, they just keep coming. But Kohler insists his motives were pure.
My point from the beginning was to kind of educate consumers of content on how to best identify these sort of, fake versus real.
It's sort of like you were doing a public service by teaching people about the dangers of drugs by giving them drugs.
This is true.
To his credit, there is a disclaimer about the side effect of those drugs, which you'll definitely notice when you're in a psychotic PCP rage over news that Hillary is coming to steal your guns. The responsibility, then, lies with the reader, with the consumer of the fake news.
Absolutely.
They should know the difference.
Yes.
You know who didn't know the difference? That Pizzagate maniac who shot up the DC pizzeria after reading fake news online on sites like InfoWars. And who else reads and repeats the bullshit from InfoWars? This guy. Whatever happened to him? And this is just the tip of the shitberg. What with President-elect Ron Burgundy repeating practically anything he sees online.
Go f yourself, San Diego.
And the people writing the script are either malicious, greedy, or simply confused charlatans, pouring gas on a fire that might not ever stop.
How do we get rid of fake news? How do we get rid of you?
This is kind of something that has been decaying within news for quite some time now.
You're just the opportunistic infection that came in.
Yep. That's what you'd like to call it.
At least we can agree on some facts.
We'll be right back.